We're live. Yay! Sandy and friends are live.
I love it.
Live and well. I
So,
want
as friends, I just wanted to ask y'all, do you think that it's too dark? Does it pale me too much? Because friends, that's what we talk about. We talk about like how our new hairdo. So I just got it done, and do you think
I
I
have
need?
never seen you with your hair that long before.
I
I
know
like
you like it. It's
No, I
different.
like
Good. It is a little dark. To be honest, it is a little dark. I don't know that it makes you pale. It would be just something you will have to get used to because you're used to seeing yourself with purple hair, the
That's
the
true.
lighter, brighter purple hair. What
Yeah.
color is that? What color is that?
This is like really dark royal purple, which I love. Daniel did it because this is what I was trying to do by myself, which I never succeeded. But I was thinking that next time I'll have him do like a little pink streak to just add a little brightness to it, and that'll work because I'm used to seeing it with a little. You're right, I'm just used to seeing
It really does matter how you're used to seeing it. I am so used to seeing my hair with poofy that when it's straight and I'm looking at here on Zoom, I'm like, oh, but I don't. But anyway, then I look at everybody on television. Every news person there is has got straight hair today, so nobody has their hair curled or anything like that. Just straight. I'm like, okay, we are going to get used to straight hair.
You look awesome. You look very good, my friend.
Thank you. I was going to tell you, so I went to College Station this week. I didn't have time to go by and see Amy, but my daughter-in-law had this bracelet for me that she said, I want you to read the quote inside because this is what I think of you. But fate whispers to the warrior, you cannot withstand the storm. The warrior whispers back, I am the storm.
I love that.
Isn't that? I'm like, oh my God, it gives me chills to think I am the storm. Oh. So here we come.
That's
People
right. World domination, man. That's
world domination. We are on our way. So, in case my granddaughter is listening, I've had my granddaughter. She came over to visit. I met her in College Station, and she came home with me. She's now visiting a friend, another teacher. So it's been so much fun to have her here. She spent the night. Now she's going back home later today. So we're going to lunch after we get done here. So yay! Love grandchildren, especially when they're like in their 20s. But I do love my little grandson too. So I love all grandchildren.
Oh,
anyway, I love Vola. I love it.
Texas, everything's bigger in
Texas. So, Vola, I have to tell you, you are leading the pack. So you're not only going to be the employee of the month based on your new employer, and if your employer doesn't treat you right, you have to let me know, Vola. But Vola is leading with points in the friend of the month. Remember we talked about that?
I love it.
So I'm going to have a complete list of all the numbers after today. So if you're there, if you're listening, if you're live, if you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, then here's the point system. 1 point for liking. So you like us, you get a point. But which means you have to be there first. So like it. If you love it or one of the other emotions, then you get 2 points. We give you credit for that. 3 points if you comment. So engagement gets you 3 points. The biggie, you get 5 points if you share it. So all I have to do is go look at who shared it, and then you're going to get 5 points. So I'm going to have the points all added up after today. Before today, Vola was winning. So, Vola, you're in first place.
Yeah.
So we'll be announcing it after. And then on the last, no, not the last one, but on the first one in April, when we start April, we'll announce the winners for March. And each month, somebody is going to win. And the contest is not the same every month. So, don't get too used to this point system because next time it may change. So next time I think is when if you do any of the above, you get your name on the wheel of names, and you get it one time for liking, 2 times, all that same points, but that many times you get your name on there, and then Amy, not we, Amy will spin that wheel, and whoever's name pops up. So the more times you have your name on there, the more opportunity you have to be the winner. And Amy, so next week I want you to show your mug and your tumbler, so they can see what they're going to get. You get a choice if you win. So Vola, I don't know how many you already have, but in case you need more.
She's got a good amount. I think she only has, I don't know, I want to say two that are just for her. Then my dad has some.
Well, you have none that say that you are the friend of the month, though. So we're going to do something like that.
Give her that. I mean, God, I got to make her employee of the month, and I got to give her a cup. She's going to want a cup that says employee of the month. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
No.
So I'm glad you thought of that.
It's your mom, Amy.
I fire my mom at least once a week, people. Okay, I do.
And she does so much. She does so much.
My mom's awesome, but I have to fire her to keep her in line. You know, I'm like, you can't. You gotta know. You gotta know.
Not only is she everywhere on all of our social media stuff, but she attends every single thing we ever have. Vola, you are just so good. We love you.
Not only that, but I know that Vola had, she sat down and she packaged beautiful goodies that Amy sent out for the Through the Eyes of Authors membership.
Oh my gosh, wasn't that incredible? I know. I'm like, Amy, you go, girl. I mean, she has just taken this business and just added to it so much. Oh my gosh, my heart just beats when I'm so excited and so proud of her.
Right, but you guys, I have to toot my Sandy's horn. So we have our book launch this weekend for Percy's book.
I know, yes.
And I keep checking that thing, and I'm like, oh man, we're still in like the top 20. And Sandy's like, no, Amy, we're not. We're number 1. Why don't you click on the fatherhood and go to fatherhood, and you'll see that you're number 1. And I'll be damned. You people, I don't think people understand how excited I am. This is my first book launch. Like, my first like hoorah. And so I was so nervous. You can ask Sandy. I think I called her on Wednesday, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, Sandy, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. I need to just stop. I don't know why I'm doing it. She's like, no, Amy, talking all calm. You can do it. Like a good friend. And what happened? Oh, it's all been good. So it's an exciting day for me. And I love doing this. This is fun. But
of course you know how to do this. Amy, this is your specialty.
It is. And she's been there with me every time. So it's not like it's not like it's anything new to her. It's just
you guys are just being kind. You're just being kind because you're my friends, and I love
No, because real friends, tell you when you're not doing right.
Well,
when you suck, friends are the ones that get to tell you that. So if you sucked, we would tell you, but you don't. You're awesome. What are you talking about?
We might say it a little nicer than you suck, but
I'd be like, y'all suck. That's an awful idea. Why don't we do this? I'm going to cut to the chase. Okay. Feelings can't get feelings involved. Okay.
Yeah. No, but Sandy doesn't ever say things like that. Sandy say it nicely, not me. I'll just be like, you suck.
Yeah, what does Sandy do? Well, that's a good idea. We could also do this. And then she gives you a better idea. So then you go with the better idea, and then you realize that yours really sucked.
You guys know, one person that I would say you suck to would be my husband. Because if he does something that sucks, I'm going to say that sucks. And so in his recovery, I've not been the kindest person that I should be. It's like, come on, give me a break.
Well, I mean, honestly, men turn into such babies when they're sick. and they're having, I mean, they grate on my nerves at that point.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have a permanent, like, cohabitating with male in my.
Yeah. Well, this is a very big house, and we have nobody upstairs, so it's possible I may be watching TV upstairs.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
However, I think that does bring up the topic because we're gonna each week talk about a different friend topic, and I want to hear your responses. I did see that James has now. That's nice that it shows on the screen there. You don't have to go to Facebook. See that James posted. Araceli, how are you, Araceli? It's great to see you. I just saw James in the mastermind when I was there, so great to see him and Athena. But the question for today for friends, and I want you guys watching to respond and answer because I want to hear what you think. But what do you think about can I as a woman be friends with a guy, a male? How does that work, and how is there any taboo around it, or is it okay? Or because some of my best friends are men. So what do you think about that? We'll go with Fern and then Amy, because Amy's going to be the millennial view on this, and I want to hear what that is.
Okay.
I totally think that you can have male friends. I have a lot of male friends.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of really wonderful male friends. Some of them are married, and some of them are not. And even, it doesn't really make a difference because we really support each other and we're friends, So I think it's totally possible. I do think you need to, like, if your friend is married, you need to make sure that you also honor their wife, because that is, you don't want there to be any kind of confusion. I would say that's one of the, if they're single, you can just manage the relationship between you, and just keep it to friendship. But if they have a wife, I think that's where it gets a little complicated because you do need to make sure that she knows you're not after her guy, that you're friends and that you're,
Well, I have to say that's where being 77 really comes in handy. Because not too many people are jealous of a 77-year-old woman. So
is that why my issue pops up?
Because most of the men that I'm friends with are way younger, like my kid's age, my son's age. So, it's like, okay, I've just adopted you, not done anything more than that.
Yeah, that would be a key factor. You're right.
Yes.
It does matter. Age does matter.
It does. I think it does. So Amy, because I know if you see the video of Amy and her proposal, her seriously dangerous proposal, then you'll see that she said that she married her best friend. He was her friend. So obviously she thinks it's okay to be friends with a guy, but then she marries them. So.
Wait. Marries is plural. She married one. I
was gonna say I'm not married to
she didn't marry them, she married him. So sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry, Josh. I would never have said that about you because I love Josh. He's just adorable. So Amy, what are your thoughts about it?
No, I mean, I think honestly, the older you get, you can be friends with everybody, whoever. I think it's just, like if you're married or if they're married or whatever, you just have to set boundaries, and then if one crosses the boundary line or whatever, then, you push back and you're like, no, okay, like I'm not going down this path with you. I'm happy. I'm married, blah, blah. And if they still keep pushing, then you're just like, all right, dude, your friendship is not this important. My marriage is more important, or my relationship or whatever, right? Is more important, so adios. But I don't see where it could be an issue. I think, I don't know. I mean, you could kind of, if we wanted to, like, not fabricate, but if you wanted to say, like, in a bit, like if we worked in corporate, right, and I was friends with all of let's just say that the head person or whatever is like a male, then I could see where other women could view that as like, oh, you're just trying to, I don't I don't know the best way to say that. Like you're trying to like not one up, but like I don't know. I don't know the right way to say it, because there's like an etiquette to it. And I don't know the right way to say it because not all women think this way, but like in corporate or big businesses, when you become friends with the higher up, then it could become it creates a stigma. I guess it's the best way to say it. And other people it could fall under that in like, professional realm, I guess.
Yeah. Cause I remember when I was in corporate, if you started out as like a quote unquote secretary, which is what they called them back then, but an executive assistant or something. And then you became like, and then you started going up the ladder. People were always talking. I mean, people would always say, well, I wonder how she got,
Uh-huh.
but that's not all necessarily true. I mean, it's just a lot of people are jealous, and a lot of things happen in corporate that doesn't happen in our world, the world of authors and entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Right.
I don't think you see a lot of that. I haven't.
Yeah. That's like my point though, is what I was saying is like, you'll have those stigmas. So it's kind of like, I have a lot of guy friends. I just get along better with guys because my personality is, you got to take it or you just don't like it. There's no in between. It's black or white with me. Okay. There's no in between. Okay. So it's just, you like me or you don't. And so
you're so cute and funny when you say it. That ought to be a point. That ought to give you some points.
No, because I can be blunt. Like everybody knows I can be blunt, and then I'll come back and be like, "I'm sorry, I was so blunt. I meant what I said, but I could have said it nicer." I'll come back later. But it's kind of like you have to, in a sense. I don't know if it's like being a woman because I don't know if men get the same stigma if they're friends with a bunch of girls. I don't really know. But if women, you have to kind of have not a hard outer shell, but you got to be able to take those other women that are jealous or going to say stuff or whatever and create that whole stigma. You got to be able to handle that because that can get daunting. It can wear you down, and so you have to.
I think the key thing in a corporate environment, is to just and I think just in general, you have to realize that you do not control what other people think about you, what other people say about you, and how they feel about you. You have no control. So, you just have to stop worrying about it. You just have to let that go because at the end of the day, actions do speak louder than words. So, when you have a woman that's, being promoted and, she has good relationships, friendships, in the business area, your work is going to speak for itself. The reason that you're getting these promotions is because you have the talent, the skills, that's why you're succeeding. And if other people who are a little more jealous or, still have some kind of weird mindset, if they want to go talk about you behind your back, you just got to like, oh, well, that's their, you can't let that affect you. You know? But I will say one time, I did leave a job I was doing because this other lady who wanted the guy, she was actually after him,
Okay.
But he and I were really good friends. He was my professor, from my master's degree and stuff. And it was afterwards I was working with him, and she started rumor mongering, and I noticed that his wife, began to treat me differently. She had a little coldness to her, and then another lady mentioned something, and I thought, oh, this is not good because this is going to ruin my friendship with him. He was my mentor. He's someone I admired, and he was, doing a very important job, and I didn't want to get in the way. So I just backed out. I was just like, oh, I've got this other opportunity. I'm going to pursue it. And I just separated, because I didn't want to hurt him. And I certainly didn't want to hurt myself either. So sometimes you do have to sense that it might be better to just, Yeah. And it was sad because I was really close to him. He was a really great mentor, but I think it was a good choice. I don't regret it,
But do you think it's the same on the flip side? Like, do you feel like for men, when it's easier for them to be friends with women, do you feel like they go through the same like stigmas, I guess, that women go through?
I think that men might have problems with it because of the woman maybe in their life, like their wife.
Yeah.
Right.
She may be the one that says, or be a little jealous or whatever. But I have never seen. I don't know. Maybe I guess I've just not been well. And like I would never understand what's going on with the guy anyway. But men don't seem to with each other have a problem with it.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think that like other men say, "Oh, look, he's got a lot of female friends, and I wonder what he's doing to get." No, I don't think they
Why is it like that for women? Like, not to get all like feminist and like, I'm all about girl power. I'm all about that. Not to go like super like feminist. I'm not trying to do that. But I mean, we're talking about, women being friends with males and males being friends with women and kind of going back and forth. And it's kind of like, well, why do women get those stigmas and the rumors spreaded about them? But men
I really think that has to do with the fact that we really, as a societally, even from a very early age, women are viewed very sexually, very, as sexual entities. And so I think we as a society need to start moving away from that and seeing them as human beings who are also sexual, just like men are human beings who are also sexual, And I think that if we can move away from, any view of a woman is sexual, first, and then as a human, I think that would help a lot. But I think we still have that too much.
And I think we've come a long way,
Yeah.
In that area, and what we're doing is fighting against traditions that were established for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think of women being the sexual person and expected to be whatever, either loyal and true, and that makes you good, or if you're not, then you're not good. So that's just kind of been the whole just watching. My experience is watching movies and stuff like that. So that could have been depending on the movie as well as to how the women were seen, but I do have seen that. So I think we're living in a good time for women.
Ooh, James opined. Hang on, because he's a guy.
He says it's the same for men. Oh wow, James, I'm glad you said that.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, it is. It is. Because I think that's interesting that you said that, James, because women can be friends with each other and nobody thinks that we're lesbians because we're friends. So that does put like another kind of a difficulty level for men that they could be friends. But if they're too close, then they're going to be seen as gay or something. So very interesting. Oh my gosh.
Huh.
We're so glad you may have to get a prize for being the comment of the month here. So
look at you, I love it.
Even Bola says, "Way to go, James." So
that's interesting though, because you don't hear things about like you hear the women, and they're all like, why is there this stigma around it? Why can't we just all be equal, right? And you hear all that, and that's very advocated. But you don't really hear a whole lot of that from the men. And so I just assumed men didn't care, because men are just, women are laid back too, but men are just more, they're like, oh, whatever, some women can hold grudges for months, years, till they die, right? And there's some women that can do that, right? I mean, let's be honest, we all have the power of doing that. Men are just better at letting stuff go than women are, because women get all emotional. No, we're not going to do this. You've irritated me, I'm
going to object to that, though, because I think men have the power to hold grudges just as much as women.
No, they do, but they don't. All the men that I know, they're just like, Amy, that was yesterday. We just let it go. Here comes my daughter. Anyways.
Oh, there she is. There she
Anyway,
is. She has opinions.
She's great. Yes.
And I see with my husband, I see he's got a friend that has been friends with since high school. I mean, they were good friends in high school, and that he turned out to be David's kidney donor 4 years ago. So he gave him a kidney when David's was failing. So great friends that but and they talk on the phone. But honestly, if you heard them talking on the phone, you would never consider them being gay because they're like obnoxiously talking on the phone, and they're both science fiction geeks and all this stuff they talk about and political. So, but it's fun to listen to them. So Gene, if you ever listen to this broadcast, I'm talking about you. And he's a good friend, so, I don't have any friends that I've had since high school. I don't even know where most of my high school people are. So.
Another interesting thing is, for example, like exes, right? Like Mike and I, even though we've been divorced now over a year, we still are actually friends. Like we're not, antagonistic. And, the other day, he came out and hung out, when I was doing my shuffleboard thing, because it's near the house. And, it's kind of nice, to not have a nastiness between us. And
it's
so
very nice. Yes.
And it's not easy to go from having been really like romantic, obviously very committed, married situation, to having a friendship, to keeping that peace still, even though the other stuff didn't work. I think I think it's an accomplishment I'm kind of proud of.
I think it's a great accomplishment. And I see that we are starting to run out of time. Wow, this 30 minutes passes absolutely fast. I love our conversations. I love talking about friends. And if you're watching anytime now through the next week, and you've got some friend related topics that you want to talk about and you want us to discuss, send them to us. We're going to be like The View for friends. I just thought of that. I'm like,
I love that.
So the three friends, and we said the three amigas. I think that's how they say it. So
we need mugs that say that.
We do. So, wonder if we know anybody that can make us a mug that says three amigas.
I don't know. I'll try to find somebody.
But this has been great. We had a great time. It's Friday afternoon. Work is over for the week. And Amy and I are headed into a weekend of book launch. Her first to be the manager of it, to be the lead. And wonderful. So Percy, you are number one. Absolutely. Yay. So Amy, as soon as you get a chance to post that and a little picture of it. Yes, I love the way you think, Lola. So
we need to totally have like strawberry margaritas while we're
yes.
So as soon as you post something, I'll start sharing it in all the groups as soon as I get back from lunch with my granddaughter. So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Author Talk on Monday morning. So have a good one.
Bye, you guys.